right. Welcome again to my corner office where it's nice and quiet because the kids are at school. It's a quiet time right now in the garden, I would say. Not in the sense that the growing season is over. It's totally still going on. And in fact, now that the temps have cooled down just a little bit, there's some plants that get a chance to catch their breath, kind of refresh themselves, and just focus on being pretty. Not that that's probably the biological driver, but that's how they've been cultivated through the centuries, to be pretty so that we humans keep them around. Anyway, garden is still going, but now that we're getting close to properly being into fall, like I can look out my window and see some leaves changing here in Michigan. Pumpkin spice latte is available. These are my triggers for fall. Also because we're getting near to this, at least the second half of September. In the garden, what am I looking for? And what am I looking forward to? The big thing that I try to keep an eye on now are the nighttime temperatures, because the next big milestone for the garden will be the first frost date. Why? It's going to be cold, so bundling up will be key. But for the plants, there are some of the plants that I have in my garden that will not survive a frost. They will straight up liquefy. What comes to mind for me are my coleus and my dahlias are two plants that I don't expect to make it past the first frost. They will legit liquefy. The leaves will, I guess. So why do I care? For coleus, it's about the fact that I'm going to be trying to collect seeds off the seed heads for next year. That's how I grow my coleus almost completely now. Except every once in a while I pick a shiny new variety from seed from Burpees, for example. But most of my coleus I collect myself, and I'll show you how to do that in another video. Here you can see I'm letting my coleus flower stalks just stick around instead of, oh look at that bee, instead of picking them off. This is so we can start to get ready to collect the seeds once they're ready. Right now, they're definitely not ready. They're still flexible, still got plenty of flowers on them, but eventually they'll dry out and be easy to collect for next year. For the dahlias, like they're gonna need to get cleaned up because they are at least as tall as I am right now. And when they liquefy, it's gonna look gross. But that also means that those planters are free for me to either clean up or repurpose. For the fall season, I could replant them with hardier crops because there are a lot of plants like, for example, ornamental kale and cabbages, which will look great even through frost. And so I'm looking to see what I'm going to need to clean up, what I need to collect. So I should say that a different way. What do I need to collect before the first frost sets in? What do I need to get ready to clean up once frost sets in? That's the big thing that I'm looking for right now. Right now, like I certainly advise that you Google your first frost date for where you live just to get a sense of when it normally happens, but it's been a pretty warm fall. So it's an average first frost date. I would be looking at your nighttime temps to see when you're getting into the lower 40s, 40 degrees Fahrenheit, I would say. Because once you drop into those mid 30s, there's a chance that you're going to get localized frost on some of your leaves, and that's when you're in danger of frost. So for me, all I'm collecting before frost is my coleus seeds, but with dahlias also and any other tender tubers, you'd want to make sure to collect them before frost sets in because they'll liquefy the tuber as well. But I'm in a phase where I'm not saving my dahlias over winter. Oh, but I do have geraniums on my front porch that I need to save. I'm glad I'm doing this video because you don't realize it, but you're helping me plan my garden too. I started growing geraniums this year, and those can also be overwintered and repotted outside next spring. So I'll need to make sure to have a plan in place for how to bring them in before the frost sets. So that's the big one right now. Keep an eye out for your frost date. But the other thing that I'm also enjoying at the moment is that this is also fall plant shipping time. If you ordered, for example, tulips or daffodils or other bulbs that will be planted in the spring or might get planted in the fall so that they'll grow in the spring, they might be arriving now depending on your growing zone. I haven't got those yet. I did get one of my roses that I ordered in. I'll show some video footage of that real quick. Over here is one of the new fall plant arrivals. This is from Jackson & Perkins. It is the Lady Guadalupe rose. And one of the things I love about getting fall roses is that they're usually potted plants as opposed to bare root. And you can see here we got some lovely bulbs, flower blossoms getting ready to come out. And that's the bonus I think about getting fall roses, is that depending on how long your fall planting season is, I might get to see some of these blooms before winter hits and the rose goes into dormancy. So that's just one of two I'm expecting. Probably gonna move this iris out because it's not doing great right there, and you know, I'd rather keep my my rose border going. Always can find room for more roses, it seems like. But I know I have a slew of bulbs that I ordered for fall planting to get ready for spring this year. And what always happens is that all the sales for fall planted bulbs for the spring and dahlias for next year, like those happen, the sales happen well ahead of when you actually are going to get them. So every year I forget something that I ordered and get delightfully surprised. But anyway, that's something to look forward to. It's not really in my control because the plant companies ship things in the fall when they think it's appropriate based on your growing zone. So anyway, like I said, this is kind of a short video because right now in the garden, there's not a lot new that's going on. It's really about keeping an eye on the weather to be ready for the frost, and also to be planning what you're going to do when all those bulbs and fall shipped plants arrive, because you need to get them tucked in before the ground freezes over, which hopefully is still a little ways out for us here in Michigan in Zone 6B, but you know, the weather is what the weather is and it doesn't necessarily stay predictable. Anyway, that's what I have for gardening today. Hope you all are staying warm, staying cool, whatever temperature you're trying to be. Enjoying as September flies past and we move into properly spooky season. Hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you in the garden next time. Bye.